All right, okay, so I guess we'll get started. Oh my gosh, we're here with Emily, who you may know as the face of the YouTube channel Snake Discovery. Tons of awesome reptile content. And since I have a snake and managed to induct this one into the cult of reptile ownership by showing up to your office with a live python, talking all about snakes tonight. All our questions are reptile themed.
Looking forward to it. Thanks for having me.
Of course. This was like when I first started doing this podcast, this was something I like vaguely wrote down as like, this will never happen. But this is a
Well, thanks for being so patient though, because I know we've been putting this off for like a year because of the construction taking so
Oh
long.
yeah, no, total. Again, I would like little thing I wrote down. I was like, haha, this would be fun. This will never happen. Like, that's too lofty. And here we are. So, maybe try doing that thing you're nervous about.
There you go. Yeah, I've been looking forward to it.
Thank you. Yes, and we're here with also snakes. Anyone who has regularly watched this podcast knows that this is Elphaba. She's my little python. Hello, she's my python. And
Sorry. And this is Harley.
sweet, sweet baby boy. Love him. Matches your T-shirt.
He does. I got this. He doesn't seem very impressed.
Rude.
Yeah, I got it for him, but whatever.
And I realized today that I don't own a single article of clothing with a snake on it. But I do have this choker that I made with her little noggin bit of shed skin. So there's that.
And you have living accessories with him around your neck.
Yeah, she's a very good accessory.
Or she, sorry.
She's my little sneckless. Or snacelet. Lots of other things. Aren't you? Okay. Now. Okay, so the first question that I have does have a link. How am I going to do this? This is a link to a BuzzFeed article, ignoring how, like, cringe BuzzFeed is considered these days. So I guess,
This must be the people on Twitter are debating how a snake would
hold a knife.
Yes.
Yep.
Which I think is a very important debate, but
I think
as long as you two can see it on like your own personal, I'm just gonna drag it over to where I'm recording things. So here's the question. Make it a separate one. Thank you. Okay. So, if a snake were to hold a knife, how would they do it? What do we think of what we have been presented with so far?
I would love to see one hold a knife with its mouth. Ed had a good point, and he can't be here tonight, but Ed had a good point when I showed him this one. He was like, well, when they're traveling, they would probably hold it in their mouth so they could still slither, but then when they're stationary, probably use their tail as an appendage to hold the knife.
See, I never even would have thought of that. Genius.
He has an interesting take on it.
I like it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel as though the tail would give them maybe more dexterity.
Yeah, more control.
Because you have like, they could kind of balance on like the middle of their body as this drawing is showing. And have,
I would think that would be
a little bit of reach.
Yeah, a little more control over it, and then you don't have your face next to a blade. In case, if you're stabbing something with a knife and you slip, you wouldn't want your face to slip on that blade. So I wonder if it would be safer to hold it with a tail.
I do feel like it would be probably safer on the snake's part, but
as adorable as it looks, sitting in his mouth like a little dog holding a bone.
The fact that the drawing is so cute, it makes me think of that, like, there's some picture of, like, this little, like, stuffed, like, like, chick, but it's holding a knife.
It reminds me of the vine of the kid running around a pool with a knife in his hand, and his mom is like,
knife!
"What have you got?"
No!
Yeah, a knife!
My favorite thing about that, and it took me so many like rewatches before I even noticed, is that you hear someone in the background just very quietly be like, "How do you get a knife?"
Oh, I haven't heard that. I'm gonna have to watch that now.
God, I miss Vine.
Right?
And then as you like scroll through this like BuzzFeed article, they do make some solid points, like the screen cap from Robin Hood where the snake advisor is like holding the mirror with his tail.
Oh, well, I think with there we kind of have our answer then, don't we? I never noticed that.
I do like the kind of best of both worlds option that they provide at the bottom where the snake is holding a knife in their mouth and a knife with their tail.
Just do both.
Yeah, for por qué no los dos? For double the threat. But would you as the resident expert like to end the debate once and for all?
Oh man, that is a tough one. You know, I think that last picture. I think that's probably the best outcome. One in the mouth, one in the tail.
You heard it here, folks.
That's the way they should do it.
I was wondering if if this question was like, because sometimes when I write something down, I'm like, oh, this will be really quick, and then we spend like 45 minutes on it, and other times I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like this could almost be the whole episode, and then it's like 2 minutes done. It always seems to be the opposite of what I think it's gonna be.
That's a tough one though. At the same time, because I still wouldn't be 100% certain over one version over the other.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be. I mean, like, obviously, no snake is actually going to be holding a knife, but like, if it would get in the way of like their tongue or whatever, or like if their
Like,
teeth would make it a pain.
well, I'm just thinking, I guess the way they move, they kind of slither back and forth. So would their striking, I guess, angle be limited to just left and right? Could they not stab in a forward motion? So maybe their movement would be limited if the knife is in their mouth. Whereas with their tail,
Yeah,
I guess that kind of goes back and forth too. I don't know.
I'm like trying to think of any kind of like other cartoon besides like Disney that involves a snake, but I cannot think of an example of a snake wielding a weapon in any kind of animation.
Yeah, I can't either.
Well, there was a rattlesnake with a gun in Rango, but I don't know if that's the same.
What did he hold the gun with?
I think it was
It
his
must have been
tail.
his tail. Wow, even with a rattle, you'd think that would get in the way. Holding
Yeah.
a gun, holding a trigger. Huh. I'll have to watch that movie again now.
Yeah, no, it's been a red hot minute since I saw that one. Come here.
We'll just have to put a toy gun in our rattlesnake's enclosure and see who he picks it up from.
Oh yeah, see you
And then-
can like actually experiment here. The most I can do is hand her like a plastic knife and see what happens, and she probably won't do anything with it because she's lazy.
He'll just slither over it.
Yeah, no, lazy and
I'll keep you posted.
you know one or two brain cells knocking up around there on a good day, but
We have a lot like that too. A lot of snakes.
oh yeah, no. What they lack in smarts, they make up for in adorableness, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
All right. Second question also requires visuals. But then after that, we do get a small break from visuals. So there's that.
I don't mind this. This is great.
I thank you. I do my best. I went insane planning for this episode to the point that I like almost forgot to plan anything for the episode that we're actually recording next. Because I was like, this is happening. And then it got to the day that we were recording our previous one, and I was like, hold on. Looking at this big, like, blank, like, square in our planning document, I was like, ooh, whoopsies.
Oh no. Well, I love the questions you chose because this next one is, would alligators grow mustaches like this or this? And the
And,
two
like,
examples.
I- and this isn't even one that I found out about, like, via, like, people talking about it. Like, this just popped up on my, like, personal Twitter page, and I was just like, whoa.
I personally love the look of the teeny little mustache near the front of the nose.
I am
think
a
that's just,
huge fan of the way that looks, I must say.
it's like too much mustache going all the way down the snout, in my
I think
opinion
so.
anyway. Do you think they would have a curled mustache like that, or would they have like a handlebar, or like a Hitler stash?
I feel like I want them to have the like handlebar mustache is the thing. Like that's just what I want to be the case if this is happening. Cuz it just like based on this picture cuz I'm looking right now at the one where it's just like the little teeny tiny mustache on the front. That's what I want.
Yeah,
So like I want this to be the answer regardless of whether or not if a crocodile or alligator could grow a mustache, this is what like that's what would actually happen. I don't know, but this is what I want to happen because it's just
well,
so
this is,
darn adorable.
it really is. And that we could, oh man, we could reenact that with Rex, because you can find little fake stick-on mustaches.
Oh my god,
If she would
yes.
behave long enough for it, we could make this happen.
Oh, there was something that I like went back and forth about, including in the Reptile meme review. It was like this old Tumblr post. Shout out to 2014 Tumblr, but someone had like a Burmese python and they had like put a like little bit of like double-sided tape on like a bow for like a doll and just like placed it on the Burmese python's head and was just having her slither around and they like put like Marina and the Diamonds lyrics to caption it. It was like Prima Donna Girl or something. I was like, this is wonderful. And someone was like calling them out, was like, oh, you put tape on a snake, like that's the worst thing you could possibly do. And this guy was like, listen, it's I have a like 12-foot long, however many pound Burmese python. I promise you she survived a little sticker to the noggin.
Yeah, a little bit of double-sided sticky tape is not gonna
Yeah,
hurt
no,
him. A snake that big.
no. You've worn hats. You've worn little hats. You've been fine. Not on camera. You can try to kill me when I'm playing video games.
We had a fan send us hand-crocheted sweater snakes, which are adorable, but unfortunately they are tube-shaped, so they don't stay on very long. But they are very cute when they are on the snake.
Dr. Brooks here is quite the avid knitter, and I keep telling her that she should make snake sweaters.
Go for it.
I think that
It's
would
a
be
cute concept, but very boring to knit.
I suppose it would be.
well. Listen, that sounds like a you problem.
Plus, he's typically extra wiggly, so he'd be in it for like half a second.
I think she would chill in one again, just because of laziness. I've we were talking about this before, like right before we were recording. I have recently, since my parents love to play the very evil game of how long can we possibly survive without turning on the heat. And my room is
Oh
quite
no.
cold. So recently I have taken to sitting at my computer like in a sleeping bag from the waist down while I like play video games, and folding the sleeping bag over creates this perfect little pocket like where I will like put her and she just hangs out like in this, oh my goodness, in this funky little like pocket thing that is created almost like a kangaroo pouch while I'm just like here at my computer playing games. It's great.
I'm always nervous that they're gonna like warm up when you're letting them, chill with you, and then poop all over you. So it's fun until, but there's a little bit of a risk involved.
I feel like there's always a risk with these.
I remember working at PetSmart once long ago, which is actually what introduced me into reptiles in the first place. I had a ball python around my neck, as we do, back when we were allowed to at PetSmart, and it must have gotten warm because I felt a drip, and I'm like, what in the world? Like, go down my shirt. Like, what is that? Am I sweating? And then I felt the rest of it just, coming down my shirt. I'm like,
Ooh,
no!
bad.
Worst feeling ever. So I never did that again.
Yeah, no. You know, she's almost like 2.5 now, and she has avoided ever going to the bathroom on me. And I'm hoping to keep it that way, but with the lifespan of a ball python, God knows I probably won't manage to avoid it.
The odds are not in your favor.
The odds are really not in my favor. This is very true, but she's adorable, so worth it. Aren't you? Okay. I want to say, I'm just gonna say small mustache final answer because that's what I want to be true, regardless of how, like, it would actually work if this was a biologically possible thing.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I would have to go with the small mustache just because of how it looks.
I love it.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
makes them look so classy. They just need like a spectacle and a cane, and they're
Or like a
perfect.
little top hat.
Yeah,
Like a little, but not like a full size one, a little teeny tiny one that just rests between their eyes.
just everything miniature.
Right? Oh, wonderful. I love it. The world would be such a wonderful place if alligators did have mustaches.
Oh yeah.
Although I think if that was a thing, we might accidentally like recreate the like 2011 mustache print on everything.
Probably, yes.
Dark times.
We shall never go back.
Okay, well, now we get a little break from visual aids. Our next question, which I think is a particularly interesting one, because I have thought long and hard about this. What venomous reptile species would you make safe to have as a pet? And the caveat here is that you get 1 or 2 specimens. We're not about destroying ecosystems.
I think if you could choose any venomous reptile species, I would probably do a variable bush viper. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but they're an arboreal species of viper, and they come in all sorts of colors. And hence, I guess, since the term variable, they really do vary as babies. You can get red ones, black ones, orange ones, green ones, and they have these scales that poke out like little pine cones.
Oh, they're the ones that look like literal dragons.
Yeah, they really do. And there's like no way to control what colors you get. You just kind of have to pair 2 together and see what happens.
That is
But they're
and
so pretty.
I will link some pictures of these in the description for this because these guys are awesome looking.
Yeah, I wish they weren't venomous because that would be the one species that I would like to keep. I enjoy us having the timber rattlesnake, and we're gonna get a western Massasauga in the near future because those are like native venomous ones to the Minnesota-Wisconsin area. So we want to like teach people about them. Plus, those are the species that we'd be able to get antivenom for if something happened, which we're never planning for. But if it did, we wouldn't be SOL like we would be if it was a variable bush viper bite or something. So it's just not worth the risk for us. But if they were not venomous, I would absolutely have a bunch of these.
Valid. Brixie, how about you?
I don't know enough about snake species to answer that, or any reptile species for that matter.
Okay, valid. My answer is king cobra.
That'd be a good one. Yeah, they get huge.
Exact 1, they are thick. And 2, they are smart.
Very smart.
At least, relative to many other reptiles.
Yeah, they are the one species that will like make a nest too for their eggs.
Right.
So they like it's so cool. They like actually pile their sticks, or they make an indent for their eggs.
And when they're not all like hooded up and freaked out, they're kind of adorable.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
they're definitely. Yeah, I mean they're there mentally because I've seen them up close before, and they know what people are. They follow you around with their eyes. Like a lot of snakes they just sit there. They're like, derp. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here. But king cobras, they are definitely there.
Yeah, no, like there's I look at her and like the lights are on and no one is home. But like you look at them and they're like you see a little spark.
You do.
And I want that. That just seems fun. If I could have one that, would not run the risk of killing me. That'd be
great.
Get a
false water cobra.
Yeah, I could.
A false water, like they're smart too. They're not as smart as king cobras or many other snakes, I guess. So they're not very smart, but they're still cute. And they can hood up.
Fun thing about still living at home. The fam is not a fan. But I got her when I was away. I got her pre-pandemic when I was in college. The plan was never to have to move back in with the snake.
Oh, well, then you already had her, so you had to bring her in.
Oh yeah, no. My fun thing was that I just bought her without telling anyone, so that like no one could stop me.
Nice. That's what Ed did with his first snake.
Yep, just called one morning. I was like, guess what I did?
Did you get her at a show?
No, I got her from. I ordered her from XYZ Reptiles,
Okay, nice.
and they were super cool, very helpful. And
Sorry
yeah.
if you hear weird squawks in the background. I have Cheyenne with me and she's mumbling back there.
Oh,
I should have brought her out of the room before we started.
that's all good. Love her.
She's a good girl. She's actually been living here on this tree in our office at the facility the last 10 days as we've been out of town. So we've had our awesome employees feeding her and giving her attention while we're gone. And I think she's going to enjoy being home after this, though. We're going to
Very
bring her home
fun.
tonight.
I don't know why I would ever find myself out in like the Wisconsin area, but if I ever do, it's one of the places I would like to check out. Seems cool. Been watching the videos. I dig it.
Well, thanks. Thanks. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring us off
Oh
topic
no,
there. Just figured I'd explain the noises that you might be hearing.
we are the queens of off topic. That is 99% of this podcast.
Perfect.
All right. Well, Brooks, now that you've heard our thoughts, do you have anything you would like to contribute or not really?
To any of the previous questions, or
Or I mean, like just anything at all, honestly.
yeah, I'm just now distracted looking at various pictures of these variable bush vipers.
Right?
Oh,
They're so pretty.
I'm like, oh, look at that one. Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, that's what we did when we saw them for the first time at a Herps Conroe show down in Texas, which is a venomous show. And we were at a table and we're like, what's that? It's gorgeous. Oh, it's a variable bush viper. Oh, look, there's a black one. Oh, look, there's a blue one. Like, it just kept
There's a
going.
blue one? What?
Oh yeah, there's a I found a purple one that was real cool looking.
Some of them, if you look on Google, some are photoshopped. But there is like a grayish blue
No,
one.
yeah, I just found one. That is cool.
And the black ones actually really do look like dragons.
No. She's trying to like worm herself into the workings of my computer. That's not what we're doing. Don't make me put you in baby jail. Anyway. Brooks, do you want to read the next question? I feel like I've been taken over here.
Oh no, it's fine. I know you're real excited, so I was letting you run with it.
I appreciate that, but please.
Okay, so our next question. Let me make sure I'm actually at the right spot there. There we go.
You are indeed.
Okay. So do you think it would be possible to make a leash for a snake? And I guess if so, how?
I honestly don't think there would be a good way, because, like, the way they're built, they stretch, they squeeze.
That's
they're
my
so
thing.
flexible.
Because, like,
I think, yeah.
like, obviously, like, like, I've seen people take, like, their funny little pictures where they just put the leash kind of loosely around the snake and be like, haha, quick photo. But I really don't think it'd work, because even with a snake like a ball python, where there's a pretty, like, significant taper, like, even if you had something that would, like, just fit, like, right behind their head, like, kind of like a dog leash, they're so squishy, they could just back right out of it with, like, pretty minimal effort.
So is there, like, another way that you would have to contain them other than a leash if you wanted to take them for a walk? Could you, like, put them on a skateboard and, like, scoot them around? Well, no, because then they just slither off that.
I mean, I have taken her on walks before, like, just around my neighborhood, because I like to remind people that I am the main character. But I'm just handling her the whole time. Like, she'll sit on my shoulders or, like, be wrapped around my arm. Like, I really don't think there's a way that you could... I can't think of a way that you could walk a snake where they wouldn't be on your body.
Yeah, because my mind went to, for birds anyway, because I was way into parrots before reptiles, they make backpacks that are, like, they're clear acrylic, and they're built with a perch in them, so a bird can sit on in your backpack looking out as you walk around. You can do something like that for a snake with the perch and everything.
You could definitely put a snake in a backpack.
But then they're still on your body, so
this is very true.
Wouldn't really answer your question.
My cousin has a bearded dragon, and he has, like, a leash for him. Like a little, like, harness thing. And it's the funniest thing, because I've seen ones that have, like, little wings.
Yeah,
to make
those
them
are
look
cute.
like actual dragons. They're so cute. But I can't. think of like any way you could have like not even like attached to the snake, like a string attached to something containing the snake.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess this brings it, I guess, kind of sciencey, like hush hush sciencey, but I think it's out there. There are scientists, I don't know where, which is probably why it's safe to share it. There's scientists that are learning what genes in a snake uh, devolved legs, and they're turning them back on again with genetic modification. So they're
Ooh.
producing snakes. I don't know what these legs look like, but it's
I'm gonna bet they're
strange.
really stubby.
I would think so too, like teeny little points or something, because you'd have to like grow back in. You'd have to really have to
Or
work with
like
them
you
to
know
get
those
full legs.
really really like kind of like whenever well, they're usually drawn in like on like the Chinese pottery or like the kind of like the Welsh like worm dragons that are just like really long and their legs are super tiny and like super far apart on their body.
Yeah, like in Spirited Away,
Yeah, that's what I would think
Baku.
of.
Yeah,
You
I'll
look
try
like
to
you had an
Google it.
idea there. What were you gonna say?
You know, like the old school like radio flyer wagons. Oh, you know what? I have a miniature version of one of those. Like it's like the wagon part of it's like this big. It was perfect size for him.
You just gotta put like a
So,
mesh bubble on
yeah.
top.
So if I just put something over the top to enclose them, and I could just pull them along.
There you go.
I love that. One of my
Mental image.
things is I think a good way to transport her. This is still like on your person, but hands free. Like if I need to have both hands free for whatever reason, but I still need to move Snake from point A to point B. What I think I could do is I could, you know, the kind of like fanny pack as crossbody bag trend.
Yeah,
I think I could do that if it had like a little mesh window in it or whatever, and it was big
that would
enough.
work.
Like I could just, you know, if she's all kind of like loafed up, chilling out, just plop her in there, zip it up, go about my day.
I guess you could cheat it. You could feed them a huge meal, and then their collar wouldn't just slip off. It would like stop right at the beginning of that rat. Because the rat can't squish down in size.
This is
So as
true.
long as the collar wouldn't go around the size of the rat, you just fed him. So you could just like prepare them for a walk by here. Because this is obviously what you do with reptiles all the time, is you feed them and you immediately take them out and handle them. So that's how, yeah.
I mean, she'd do it too. She eats like a garbage disposal. Every like article I saw prior to getting a ball python was like, oh, you know, they can be really picky. I'm like, can they?
You
She
lucked out.
I got so lucky. Like super great personality, not grouchy at all. Eats like a champ. She
Nice.
she would probably eat every day if she could, but we're not doing that.
I have some bull snakes like that.
Oh my god. Oh, he is a hungry boy.
He thinks he's starving to death constantly.
So do all your cats.
That's all cats.
Unless they've eaten the food in the middle of the food dish and there's still food around the rim, that's still empty.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta. I do call it the magic trick when I just shake the bowl and it looks full again.
Nice.
They're like, "How did you do that?" I'm like, "It's magic."
I love your cats. Getting slightly sidetracked into all animals. My dog just got a haircut today. She looks so cute.
Was she all fluffy after the bath too? That's like my favorite part.
Yep. Well, like she was like super fluffy, but like fluffy, but in a different way because her fur's a lot shorter, but it's like all softer now. And she also
Aw.
doesn't stink, which is great.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a golden doodle. Her name's Piper, but she's like
Aw.
75% golden, so she sheds everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which my mom was not happy about. She thought she was getting a non-shedding dog. Oops.
Oh, cute though.
She's absolutely adorable, and since she like is much more like golden in like temperament, so she's like super calm, super chill. Like I've noticed a lot of the like kind of poodly like super curly ones, like they tend to be like pretty high strung and like jumpy. So
Okay.
there's that. But no, very good girl. And
I
she
see.
also came back with a little bandana on. She looks absolutely precious.
Aw, cute.
Love her. Anyway, actually, not a bad segue if we were done talking about ways to carry a snake.
Hey, look at this.
What's the better pet? A tortoise or a dog? Which
You
seems
know,
so opposite, but my thing is that, like, I feel like you could have a similar bond between, like, tortoise and owner. You just don't have to worry about the short lifespan. Because, frankly, the tortoise is gonna outlive you.
that's true.
So, yeah, that was my thing here.
I think it depends on what you're looking for in a pet. Do you want something that you can bring somewhere and not have to carry a 50-pound rock against your hip when you want to move? Or do you want something that you can leave for a week and just have a neighbor throw veggies at it and it's good to go? So I suppose the maintenance.
Well, I
Huh,
mean, some
personally?
dogs, they will not move
Yeah,
unless you pick them up, let's be real here.
that's true. That's a good point.
Some lazy boys out there, but I get what you mean.
Trying to think of what else there would be, like difference wise. I mean, there's diet. It would be, I think it's based on like good quality dog food diets. Dog food is expensive for the grain free
Yeah,
stuff. So it'd be cheaper to care for a tortoise, minus the UV bulbs,
yeah.
and basking, and vet. Huh.
Well, I
There's
mean,
various factors here.
I think vet for any animal can get somewhat costly. Like
Yeah, because the dogs.
any larger animal.
Oh yeah, or exotic. Like with dogs, you're bringing them in more regularly for shots and vaccinations and checkups, things like that.
But
So that
like
adds
with
up.
exotics, there's tend to be like like fewer exotic like fewer and far between.
Oh yeah, so they charge you an arm and a leg
Yeah.
for just a single stop. So if your tortoise goes its whole life not having a single health issue, it's going to be a lot cheaper than a dog. But if it has a couple issues, it'll cost the same.
We were looking at tortoises the other night, just like for like we were just like chatting and like looking at tortoise. We also found a frog. Just an absolutely wonderful. The picture of this frog is just the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Like this frog that was listed up for sale on Morph Market. Someone just took a picture and it looked like it was having an existential crisis.
Oh, nice.
And it was the
Huge
best
eyes.
thing I've ever seen in my life. We were
A very
looking
polite existential crisis.
we were just looking at tortoises and I was like, you could get a tortoise for like $100, like when they're like a baby. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. The fact that you can pay $100 for something that starts out like this big,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have like 50 pounds of tortoise that's going to outlive you.
Yeah, a lot of people have to put them in their wills. Like even the smaller species can live 50 plus years.
We literally were talking about this in an old episode, and and the episode title wound up being Legacy Tortoise because we were talking about like willing your tortoise to like your grandchildren or whatever.
Yeah, if I personally had to choose between a tortoise and a dog, I think I would choose a dog, and I'm not actually a huge dog or cat person just because I've never had a dog my whole life, so I feel like I would probably appreciate a dog and see why everybody loves dogs if I tried one, I suppose.
Yeah, my thing,
Um,
I'm a huge dog person, and like, in the words of George Carlin, life is just a series of dogs. Like, that's absolutely how it's going to be for me. But also just like the fact that dogs have, like, compared to some other animals, relatively short lifespans, that does give me the sads. And it
that
would be
is
nice
sad.
to have a pet where that's just not gonna be your problem.
What if we were to hybridize a tortoise and a dog? So you could have a dog with the lifespan of a tortoise, but then it would probably have to have a shell, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm not
What would that look like? A hybrid?
wrong, I think is what it would look like.
I'm just imagining a tortoise with like dog legs, like these long, lanky legs, just bounding across the
I'm
field.
literally just thinking of a dog that has a shell. Like I'm thinking
Okay, yeah.
some like cartoon mad scientist combines them in some crazy machine, and that's what comes out. Like that's what's occurring in my brain.
Dog with a tortoise shell, but the head still shaped like a tortoise head.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if you Google it, there are actually some images of Photoshops. Oh my gosh, there's a corgi with a tortoise shell. Photoshopped, obviously.
Corgis are my favorite dog. This is actually starting to sound a little bit wonderful.
Okay, if it would look like this one on Google, I would absolutely take it in a heartbeat. That would be the best option.
What did you Google? Because now I need to see.
I Googled dog-tortoise hybrid, and it's the first result.
Tortoise? Oh my god.
Right?
Well, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
I think, yeah, that's what it would have to be.
Yeah. Okay. That's this. I will link this as well. This is what I want. Oh my god. I need to stop. I need to close this tab, or I'm just gonna stare at it for the rest of the episode. Oh lord. Yeah. I see positives for both, and again, it feels like such a weird question because they are such different animals, but like again, they're qualities for both. Where if I could combine them into like one perfect animal, that would be the best thing in the world.
That's your win-win right there. Yeah.
It really is.
Especially if it's a corgi, apparently.
Especially if it's a corgi. Love those stumpy little boys.
Why is there a hybrid tortoise and giraffe in the image results?
I saw that too, the giraffe tortoise. Oh my god.
I don't like that.
It's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah, no. Okay, that's enough. That's enough of that. Thank you. Okay.
Man,
all right.
people
Well,
Photoshop all sorts of animals. Oh, that'd be a dark rabbit hole if I just looked up all sorts of hybridized animals with Photoshop.
Yeah, no, that's a treacherous road to go down, potentially. Okay, so the next thing we have requires quite a bit of visual aid, which is why I have made an entire Google Drive folder for it.
Nice. I have not opened this yet, so I followed your instructions.
Well, let's hope it works.
Am I good to click on it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Drag that over so people can see what I'm talking about when they're watching this. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I'll just start with
They're all
Boop.
numbered, so that we shouldn't have a problem of, like, being on different ones. So we're just gonna start with numero uno. And essentially just, like, a reaction video type deal.
I mean, the first one, the Boop one, is adorable.
And I actually do needlepoint, so this, like, kind of inspires me.
You could make this and do a
could.
photo.
I could make this a reality, and I really should, because you're rather accepting of Boops.
Just makes me wonder how long it took to get that, like, just right.
Right? Because she doesn't sit still particularly well. Like, I have a couple good pictures of her, but she's always, like, up in the camera, like, and making it go all out of focus. It is a possibility, though. Perhaps I will get around to that, but yeah. And that's such a cute ball python, too.
It is!
Love the color scheme.
It's got, like, a long nose. But, yeah, it's just more nose to Boop.
Beautiful. Moving on.
What is going... Oh my gosh, it's in a flute.
Oh, baby.
There's a snake in my flute. That's the best line on this whole meme.
I love that. I like that. For whatever reason, I like to play us a tune. He's trying. He's doing his best.
That's really cute, but like, how would you get him out? I don't think you'd be able to go all the way through. You'd have to poke his nose.
He's gonna have to backtrack.
Yeah.
I don't see any other option there.
No. We were just recently learning how to tube rattlesnakes, and I actually did it. I got to do it. I got to
Oh,
tube
wonderful.
rattlesnakes. It's not as hard as I thought it would be, but sometimes if they go into too big of a tube and they could like turn around their body, you have to put them in, but you have nothing that's like an appropriate size. You have to put them in that tube that's slightly too big, put a smaller tube in through the other end just to get their head through that smaller tube, and then the thicker part of their body stays in the bigger tube. You just have to prevent their head from turning around, basically. But we ran
Makes
into an
sense.
issue where they decided the snake tried to keep going through that little tube
Oh,
within
God.
inside of the big one. I was like, oh no! So we had to like reach in from the other side and like boop his nose to make him backtrack out of it, and it worked. But it was like, oh, I've got a spicy one in here. Like this, I don't want
Spicy.
to
No,
mess
yeah,
this up at all.
she's chunky to the point where I think if she tried to make like too sharp of a turn, she could definitely get like stuck in the entrance to her hide. Just like I feel like if she like was like folded over like at her thickest point, that might be a problem.
They sometimes like to be cramped and uncomfortable looking, and for some reason that's
Really
comfy for
like the
them.
way I'll find her like just like smushed up like not like kind of like coiled around herself, but just like almost like folded in half, and she's just like vibing. I'm like, that can't be comfortable.
And then there's like bearded dragons that are sitting at a 90-degree angle up against the glass of their tank, fast asleep. Somehow that's comfy.
Love them. Love those boys. And my cousin has a bearded dragon. Bearded dragon's name is Merlin. It's wonderful.
We have, I think, 4 in Adoption Island right now. It's
Aw.
insane. We had a bunch surrendered recently, so we're trying to find them homes.
I want to know the context for this photo though. Like, not that I
Yeah.
don't do weird, like, not that I don't just like walk around my house doing things like with a snake, because why not? But practicing the flute.
I wonder if they like left it on the bed and walked away and he just went in, or if it was a case of, oh, you want to check it out? Yeah, I bet you can't fit in there. Oh, you can fit. Oh,
Actually,
shoot.
yeah. Well, when you say it like that, I'm gonna bet money that's exactly what happened.
Because all of us are like, aha, you're going to get stuck right there. You're not going to actually fit. Oh, shoot, yes, you did. And then you have to quick do that
Yeah,
frantic reach.
she's a fan of sleeves, and like sometimes I'll be wearing a shirt. I'm like, you're not gonna be able to get like it's like it's form fitting. You're not gonna be able to get that far in, and then
Yeah.
she's gone. I'm like,
Oh, no.
okay, and now I have to deal with this.
Yep. Should we try the next one?
Yes. Just final comment. Absolutely love the way his little face is just sticking out.
Yeah. That's really
Precious.
cute.
Okay, moving on.
I saw this one the other day. That's awesome. I love this meme.
Love the harness. Like, love that is like visibly like a dog leash
Yeah,
for
it
like
is, isn't it?
a toy dog.
Oh.
And also, I just love the expression of the lizard in the second picture. Just like side-eyeing the camera.
Oh.
Absolutely wonderful.
It's like he knows he's the boss. That's the kind of face I see from him.
Yeah. He knows that he's the baby.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Photos like this like make me forget how much work goes into keeping a large lizard, and just makes me want one so that I can pick it up like a human child.
Yeah.
Like, just for that.
Ed's taking a look at the meme right now as he walks by. You like it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Hi,
he
Ed.
likes the meme. You say hi.
Hi.
He says hi back.
Wonderful. Alright, moving on. What a wonderful game.
I won! What a great game! This
just
reminds
love
me of the game back in high school, which you might be too young for. I don't know.
The game.
The game? Okay, yeah, you know of the game, which we all just lost. Dang it.
That
I like the frog game better.
I do like the frog game better, but like I could spend hours discussing that era of memes.
Yeah.
Not going to, but I could. And like anytime I'm reminded of that era of memes, I am just transported back to 8th grade.
We all lived it.
What a time that was. But yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I just love on this meme. It's you won.
Yeah,
Like
huge fan.
hooray!
I love a wholesome meme. I love a positive meme. And this is exactly that. And also, I just love the frog that they went with. Like they could have just
Yeah.
like picked like your kind of standard like nature photography of like a bullfrog or like whatever you find at your local pond. But they went with this funky boy.
They went with like the fattest, derpiest snake frog that they could find.
I know. I love his expression. He's
He's so
wonderful.
he looks so confused.
He does. He doesn't know why he's there. Love him.
That's great.
Moving right along.
All right.
Not necessarily a meme, just a really fat gecko.
Oh my gosh, it's got rolls on its rolls.
And like, oh, it didn't. I found this on the reptile subreddit where I've taken a lot of these from, but it didn't save the little like banner at the bottom. But like, important to note that the person that posted this was like, this is not like a pet or anything. This is just a really fat gecko that I found like in my house. So I'm assuming they like live somewhere where they're just like around like Florida or whatever.
Wow. I mean, it looks. Is that a golden gecko? Or I don't even know. It has too short of a face. I don't know what species that is, but I can't imagine any would normally get that fat. It has a regenerated tail. That's kind of interesting. But it has rolls on the tail even.
I know.
Wonder...
Maybe he just found a house with like a bit of a bug problem. Is just living it up.
Yeah, they need more of him apparently.
Because like there's this is clearly like a house because of the wiring or whatever.
Yeah, you can tell he's loose somewhere he shouldn't be.
He's just hanging out.
He's doing really well. He seems pretty happy. I wonder if he'd be easier to catch than like a slim one. I feel like he'd be really
maybe
slow.
He's just really slow. He's so
what a cutie.
He's adorable. I'm kind of obsessed with him. I hope I'm sure he's living his best life. I like that for him.
I hope.
All right. The starter pack for my life.
Oh my gosh, is it venomous? It's sizing you up. Yep.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I've heard like all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Starter pack. Yep. This is all pretty accurate.
The amount of times that I've had people say, not is it venomous, they go, is it poisonous? I'm like, first of all, venomous. Second of all, how stupid do I look?
Yeah, it's gonna. My favorite is the story of it's always someone's distant relative's friend's cousin. Someone they can't track down had a pet python and they let it sleep in the bed with them. And then it stopped eating, and it started lining itself up along the body, and the doctor or the vet said it was sizing her up. It's like, oh my gosh.
That's not how any of that works.
No, it's not. It's like, what I always tell people is, like, do you think a python would approach a rabbit in the wild and be like, okay, stay still. I'm gonna see if I'm big enough to handle you. And then
predators.
If I am. Exactly. So I can't believe that one's still a thing.
I know, it drives me nuts.
I've heard the one of it'll sting its tongue. Like, where'd you get that from? It's a tongue.
That's a new one, or at least one that I haven't heard.
Yeah, it's just a random one.
But yeah, no, my mom in particular is very much not her biggest fan. Which, like, if you're not a reptile person, if they kind of ick you out, that's cool. She's so overdramatic about it sometimes. Like, I'll, like, come, like, downstairs, and, like, I keep her in my room, mostly. Like, she never planned on having a snake in her house. This just happened. So she generally stays in my room, but sometimes I, like, won't know. Like, she'll have, like, gone to the store or whatever. I'll be like, oh, okay, it's not a big deal if I, like, go down and make a quick cup of tea while I have a snake in one hand. Because I have the house to myself right now. But I'll, like, come down, and I'll be, like, 6 feet away from her and, like, didn't realize that she had, like, come home or whatever. And she does, like, a full body flinch. I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
It's just a snake.
Yeah. She just needs to meet a hognose. Those always win people over.
I mean, she has stories.
I mean, people. He weighs like 44 grams. They just weighed him today.
Big
You
boy.
know, he's like 15 inches long, and people are afraid of him. I'm like, dogs and cats are more dangerous than he is.
I worked
You know,
at
Yeah.
like,
oh my God, I worked at a restaurant once, and I like mentioned that I had a pet python, and I was like, "Oh, like you guys want to see a picture?" And like two people were like, "No, I can't because if I see like I won't be able to sleep." Like what? A picture, and she was like less than a foot long at the time. I was like, a picture of this little noodle
Yeah, people
will
really do have
will
phobias.
prevent you from, and like if it's a clinical phobia, obviously that's not something you can help. But like the fact that people are just so like that it's so ingrained in our culture for people to be just so freaked out of snakes, like kind of on principle. It's weird to me.
Yeah, definitely don't help making them the antagonist in like every chance they have.
Yeah, no. We were literally we just mentioned this. We've been watching um Squid Game and talking about it as like a Twitch stream, and we were talking about how the one character he has like a snake tattoo on his face. And we were talking
Oh
about
yeah,
how like we were like talking about how different the actor looks without like just that one little bit of makeup, and he looks completely different. We were like, man, it like sucks that they're kind of leaning on that stereotype of like tattoos being bad and snakes being scary all in one.
yeah.
So it's just like it worked for the character, but it annoys me in principle.
Doesn't help the bad rap they already have.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like the fact that they were using these kind of like, things that people already have associations with, like it most certainly worked, but I'm annoyed that it did.
Right.
So,
man, it would have been hilarious if it were a tattoo of a hognose, though.
Oh,
smart
that
baby.
would have been funny.
It's a great visual.
I might have rooted for him if it was a hognose tattoo.
Yeah.
I don't
But
even think that could have won me over.
very exciting that you guys got a snowmorph, though.
Oh yeah.
On the video.
She's a terrible eater. I had to force feed her when we got back today,
Aw.
but she takes force feeding really well, so I think eventually she'll start taking food. But yeah, she is definitely a cutie.
She's so
Love that.
pretty.
I would love to get a
I
hot
would
nose
love
at
to
some
get a
point.
snowmorph.
But all the more my favorite hognose morph is super expensive, so
Ooh, what's that?
I
Lavender.
love the lavenders.
Nice. Yes, they are amazing, and they're like even prettier in person too.
Oh, yeah, no. So damn cute.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, no. Absolutely adorable. Love them. Want one so bad, but not at the
Well,
point.
just wait till they're. Yeah, well, every new morph of hognose like comes down in price eventually, like once more people are producing them. So just wait until it'll probably even out at about. I mean, currently they're $900 it seems at shows, but they'll probably even out about $4 eventually. Seems like a lot of the morphs do.
It'll happen. I mean, like, and honestly, like, even if I had like a slightly better salary, I'd be perfectly fine. Like, eventually dropping $900 on one because I absolutely love the morph. We're just not there yet.
Yeah.
And also, my favorite boa constrictor morph is like $10,000, so I really can't
Oh my
complain.
Wow. It's crazy how expensive morphs get.
Oh god, those guys are go nuts. But like one time I like was bored and I was on Morph Market because I look at Morph Market when I'm bored.
Oh yeah, we all do for sure.
I was looking at boa constrictors because I love boas. I just they're big and slow and dumb, and I love them for it. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is the fanciest thing on here? What's going for the absolute most? And there was like a $10,000 like Sunglow dragon morph, and it was one of the most beautiful snakes I've ever seen in my life. I was like, oh.
Well, now I need it.
Exactly. Well, now I want one. I was assuming it was just going to be like, something kind of plain, like, the most expensive, something kind of plain looking, but it's carrying like a bunch of crazy genes that could give you this, this, and this, but it's like, nope, it's the prettiest snake I've ever seen.
Of course.
So now I need it. All right. Got a little sidetracked there, but that's fine. We have a passenger.
Oh, baby.
What are you doing there, friend?
Aww.
I like that he looks kind of chill about it though. Like he's just kind of sitting there,
Oh,
almost like hands interlaced.
I totally didn't move to the meme until just now. I thought something like jumped on your desk or something. So I was like looking at the feed. I'm like, what did I miss? I should have been on that page or that tab, not the Google Drive tab. But okay, got it. That is adorable.
He just kind of looks like he's chilling. Yeah, I don't know. Just that's not where you're supposed to be, but I'm glad you're there.
Just hitching a ride.
Yeah. I wonder where he went.
Catching the Uber to the club. Going.
Yeah.
There's this picture
quick-witted
that gets passed around in our podcast group chat all the time. It's like a Snapchat, and it's just a picture of a cat, and like there's like these like club lights shining down on it, and it's like a Snapchat. So the caption is just "There's a cat in the gay bar."
Nice.
And now I'm just like thinking of replacing this. Like maybe he's on like a windowsill or whatever, and you see like the lights shining in. Just, there's a frog in the gay bar. Just hanging out. Oh,
yeah.
Love him. Next meme.
It's a little. It's a fish scale gecko.
I love him so much.
These are super cute. That's a fat one too. So these like when you touch them, their defense mechanism is to slough their skin. So like their scales and
oh no,
it like their scales just slide off, and you just see skin and muscle underneath.
That's a little nasty.
Yeah, you have to wait for them to like grow it back, and it's scarred and never looks the same. So you can't like touch them. You have to catch them in a cup if you have to like transfer them. But they are super cute
because he's so cute, and I just want to scoop him up.
He's really cute.
Like he looks like a cartoon.
He doesn't have legs. He just has hands attached to his body.
Right? Oh my god. I love, again, I want to touch, but that's the last thing I should do.
It's so tempting.
Why is the world so unfair? Alrighty, moving right along. A twisty boy.
Aww.
Baby.
That's just such
an
interesting method.
I think that's the new type of movement they recently discovered in snakes, was like how they climb trees. There's a certain word for it, but I wonder if that's kind of what he was doing? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I've like seen some videos of like green tree pythons doing their little shimmy type deal.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch. I'm a big fan. But yeah, I just saw this and I absolutely loved it because I was like, look at him go. Love it. Alrighty.
Aww.
Some of these aren't quite memes. Some of them are just things I thought needed to be put out there. But this one's a meme.
Gosh. It's so accurate.
One of the kids on the corner has the leopard gecko. Why am I forgetting things? But he has like the little leopard gecko. And he's so cute. But God, not a single brain cell in that head.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, at least they're cute and they've got that going for them. Because they don't have much else.
But, like, you can, again, you can just see that the lights are on in no one's home when they, like, stare at you and, like, their tongue is on their eyeball.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, there's nothing going on up there.
Nope. At least it looks like they're constantly smiling. They've got that.
Mm-hmm. That's, like, my favorite thing about them.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing about, like, a lot of snakes when you look at them head on is that they have kind of, like, a puppy mouth. Like, you know how little kids will draw, like, a dog and the mouth is, like, a 3? It is essentially the same thing when you look at them, like, head on.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love it. But yeah.
Especially with ball pythons. They're really just pythons in general. I think it's the lips on the sides of their mouth. It gives them that puppy look.
Although hognoses, they have a kind of perma-smile thing going on.
They do too. Yeah, that's true.
Love them. Not so much with like bull snakes and rat snakes. They have like more of a like kind of flat deal going on.
Yeah, bull snakes always look angry, and rat snakes always look surprised, in my opinion.
I believe it. Yeah, no. Bull snakes. It's so appropriate that bull snakes always look angry.
Yeah, that heavy brow, and it does match their personality pretty well.
Because like even the ones that are like you know. you find like you're super chill, like weirdly okay with being like just manhandled specimens across every like type of snake. But even those ones, they just look like at all times.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Good
Continuing.
meme. Yep. We have run into that. That reminds me of
Bit of a
uh
herping meme for you, even though I've never gone herping in my
yeah.
life.
Oh, it's
Well,
it's
actually, I've looked for
addicting.
frogs. I have looked for frogs as a child. I don't know if that counts.
There was one time we were filming a video about jumping spiders last year, and we found like there was this bus garage that we had found one on in the past. So we're like, oh, we should try that again. Try to find another for this video. I was doing something at home. Ed walked over, and he's just walking around this bus garage building, like looking, inspecting all around the windows, all around the doors.
Mm,
And this guy walks up to him. To this guy, I'm sure Ed looked like someone trying to look in the windows, trying to break in.
mm.
And this guy was like, "What are you doing? Can I help you?" And Ed was like, "Oh, I'm just looking for spiders." And the guy was so confused and not prepared for that answer that he just said, "Okay," and he walked away.
Yeah, sometimes all you gotta do is just give one unexpected answer, and
Yeah,
that's all it takes for people to leave you alone.
just take him off guard.
Keep them on their toes. I can just also see this exact scenario as like an absolutely like hilarious scene in some kind of TV show or what, like in like a sitcom or whatever. Like this
Yeah,
one, like whatever character is just super obsessed with frogs and like doesn't think that he's like could never like couldn't imagine anyone being out at night for any other reason, and then like stumbles across like a legit Breaking Bad drug deal
yeah.
and gets himself in trouble or whatever.
I mean, I guess if you're poking around with a flashlight in the middle of the night, I can understand how that would look sketchy to a lot of people, and maybe
Yeah,
get the cops called on you.
I can, I can, I can see that ending badly. But also, I
Yeah,
would just think it would be so like it's so funny, like a couple teens expecting like the cops, and then it's just some guy with a net.
yeah. Then you're stuck in that situation.
But I mean, what a relief for them!
True. Yeah, it wasn't the cop.
It's not the cops; it's just Frog Dude, and I don't think Frog Dude's gonna care.
Probably not.
He has one goal in mind.
He'd probably be like, "Oh, I see you're doing a drug deal. Have you seen any frogs by any chance?"
Oh man, what a wonderful interaction that would be. No, don't get stuck. Next. My snake is my child.
Sorry, did I miss it? Did we move to the next one?
Yes. Sorry, I did
Okay.
say next, but sometimes I don't make that clear enough.
No, it kind of cut off, so I wasn't sure. I was like, maybe
Okay.
is that
Yep.
it? Okay.
Got you.
But that would be my exact reaction, I think. Your
Blocked.
snake is not your child. Alright, we're done.
Yeah, nope. I think we're good here.
Moving on.
Yeah, I had like a picture of me with Harley on a dating app, and the number of unsolicited messages, like you should get rid of that snake, it's not a turn on kind of stuff.
Absolutely not.
What makes you think any person is more important than him?
Can't say that the last guy's discomfort with actually interacting with her didn't help me get over the end of it. Can't say that wasn't a little bit of a consolation when I was like, well, now at least you can find someone who's fully on board with the snake.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
feel like this is very much a lot of what happened where people would send me some sort of negative comment just about him, and then I would just immediately block them, and that was the pattern.
the correct response. But yeah, no, she's a spoiled little princess. She has actually not the Snake Discovery color scheme, but the big like tank that you guys collaborated with. What
Oh,
was it?
really?
Maximum Reptile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. Those are good tanks.
I'm a huge fan. My
Yeah, he does good
only
work.
my only issue currently is that my room is so cold. I'm having a little bit of trouble like keeping it where it needs to be, just because it's a bigger space to heat than like a little tank.
Yeah, there's a lot more space in there. So
Yeah,
there's some tweaking, I suppose.
yeah, no, figuring it out. But like, she has that much space. She has her own she has her own humidifier. She has a space heater at the moment. She's so spoiled. She's my spoiled little princess, and I like am honestly more willing to like baby talk to her than I am to like an actual child.
Aw.
She has so many funky little nicknames. You live like a queen. All right. Right along to our next unless that was a comment from someone.
Nope.
Okay,
Goes to be.
cool. A mistake.
Ugh, this one's funny but sad at the
Yeah,
same time. It's like, oh my god. There they are.
I love berms. I also love berms.
Yeah, it's too bad that they're the ones that are invasive because they're just innocent, dumb little python. Not little, but pythons.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not their fault, but I understand why we have to get rid of them.
Yeah, no, like it's not good. It's not their fault, but it's not good.
Yeah.
They are so cute. That's like I have already like have it in my mind that like having like keeping a Burmese python could be like a like retirement project for myself, because I know by that point in my life I'm most likely going to have like the, time, space and money to dedicate to like keeping a snake that big,
Mm,
cuz they are
they get huge.
they are thick boys.
Oh yeah.
Not quite as big as retics though.
Right, yeah, they don't get quite that big. And they're dumber than retics. I don't know. I think they're cuter.
If it's gonna be that big, you definitely want to be much smarter than it.
Yeah.
But there's something I find so endearing about that. Just like giant animals that are just like, no think, just chill.
When you have to involve like a second person just to be safe, it's like, oh yeah, that's a serious animal you're working with.
Yeah, no, that is a lot of snake. I feel like like a boa constrictor is probably that's enough. That's like the maximum amount for one person, I would say.
Yeah, they're a good, comfortable size, like to show off something good size, but you don't have to worry about, oh, if this snake grabbed me, what would I do?
Yeah, no. One of the things I like about the idea of having a boa constrictor is that it could hug me just enough.
Yeah, they kind of hit all the pressure points.
Yeah, free massage.
Yeah.
It's funny sometimes when she's like hanging up or like hanging out on my shoulders, and like she's not like like she is not like seeing me as food or anything. She's just like trying to readjust or like trying to reach further out than she actually can, because she like is interested in something on my shelf, and I'm just hanging out here. I'm like, ooh, free neck massage.
Nice.
So you're useful for that too. But yeah, no, I feel like a boa constrictor could just I'd feel like I'm getting the attention I deserve.
Getting a form of massage right now because he's trying to burrow into my pants.
Love that. He's doing
You're
his
not too
best.
great, buddy. Good thing you're cute.
He's trying. But yeah, don't release your pets into the wild. Thank you. Don't do that. Bad idea.
Yep.
Okay, next meme.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the equivalent.
Yeah.
They pull it off though.
I mean, they do, but when you think about it, what a strange method.
Yeah.
I mean, like they have nostrils. Why not just use them?
Right.
What would that be?
Okay, well, when you put it like that, But yeah, no.
They get the bonus organ.
This is true.
Smell with.
I know that like their pit organs, like I'm like that's not their nose, but whenever I'm looking at her head on, I'm like, haha, extra nose. I don't know, like I intellectually I know it, but like visually my brain refuses to accept that holes in front of face are not nose.
Yeah.
Just cuz like that's the visual cue you get when you're looking at almost any other animal head on.
We got inspiration when we were out of town at a history museum that had like a science lab, and they had a rattlesnake in an enclosure, and they had a big screen next to the rattlesnake. And as you walked in front of it, there was a little sensor that read your heat signature and showed what it was reading on the screen. So it's like what a snake would see of you using its heat pits. So I think we're gonna do something similar in the zoo here. Like Ed's pretty like tech savvy, luckily, so I think he's gonna try to set something up, which I think would be fun.
Cool.
Yeah, so we might try to work on that.
Super fun idea. I like it.
I think people would like it, yeah, walking by it, just to really get that idea of how a snake sees you if it
Yeah.
has pit organs.
All right, I think we have one or two more pictures, and then we have a couple short little like TikTok type videos.
Okay, I probably have like 10-ish more minutes, just unfortunately because
Perfect.
we do have to film a bunch still tonight, but yeah, let's see them.
Perfect. Oh man. All right.
Who even did that to a Woody
Right?
doll?
Like why?
Yeah, why would you do that?
I mean, like it. I'm not mad that they did. The image is quite funny.
But I don't think in the very end of their tail is like a foot.
Could be.
You know, it's like
The spur is like the equivalent of a rattle.
Oh, nice, yeah. And he even has the quote, "There's a snake in my boot," so that's appropriate.
That is highly appropriate. All right.
Good
Moving
one.
right along. In a much similar vein,
Yeah.
but also cursed.
Super cute.
Next one. Try and sort of skate through these next few, get to the video.
Yep, that's happened to me, I'm pretty sure.
It's happened to all
It's
of
like,
us.
I just took a bite. Come on.
Right? And then you're like, don't look at me.
Yeah, then I'm like, I'll give you a thumbs up. Then I
Yeah,
don't have
just
to open my mouth.
pretend you don't see me.
Yeah.
I was stuck and I was like, what's wrong with that snake's tongue? Oh wait.
Wait.
Yeah.
Like it took a second to process what I was looking at.
Okay, next one.
Spaghetti tail.
This is me. This is me every day of my life. She has no idea like what's going on, and I tell her every single day. I have this exact interaction. Also with my dog.
I'm just confused.
Mm-hmm.
Next. Isn't that always the case?
Oh. Yep. Unless it actually is venomous. Then they're like, oh, it's a rat snake. Or, oh, it's a bull
No,
snake.
it's not.
Yeah, I'm on an app called Nextdoor, which
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's just like, for people in the same area to join and like, post things of relevance to the neighborhood. And the number of people that go on there and post pictures, I found this snake in my yard. How do I kill all of them? How do I get rid of them? They're dangerous. It's like, man, that's a garden snake.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. They will eat annoying pests.
It's also like the stigma, not really when you tell someone that you like snakes and they respond with, "Oh, I kill those all the time." Like,
Yeah,
well,
I'm like,
how is that okay? But if you told
Okay.
someone, "I like puppies," and they respond with, "Oh, I kill those all the time," how is that not acceptable? But the snake version is. I just don't understand.
yeah, no. The lack of public acceptance.
Yeah.
Okay, we have made it to the videos. First one. Data collection here. I'll give it a quick play.
That's how science works. You just toss them back. They don't care.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah, they've got a shell. They're fine. I mean, worse things honestly happen to them. A lot of scientists, when they're studying turtles, will take measurements and weights and record the sex and this and that. And they usually take a chunk of the shell too, like just like a like. Yeah, no, not. It was like as a souvenir, but no, they keep it as a DNA sample for testing.
Yeah.
But that's still gotta hurt, like taking a teeny little pea-sized chunk out of their shell. So yeah, throwing it back in the water is nothing.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Hello? Oh, there we go. Yes.
Oh my god. That's an amazing cake.
Right?
That's
like
really impressive.
The first time I saw this, I like did a double take. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because that is super convincing. Like even like down to like the head shape.
And they even got like they gave it a morph, like a spider banana or something.
Oh, so cute. Excellent cake.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Next one. I love this one so much.
Oh no, what is he gonna do?
Hey! Hey! Get out of there quick!
Wow, what's wrong?
There's tons of huge snapping turtles. Come on!
My god. Ed follows him on TikTok. Ed, have you seen the TikTok of the guy who's a teacher? And you know, he does... Have you seen his snapping turtle one? You wanna watch this quick? Alright, I'm gonna hand the headphones over to Ed.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna interrupt his
quick guest
project.
appearance.
Alright.
Hello.
Hello.
Enjoy.
What am I
We're
looking
doing
at?
Reptile
I'll restart
meme
it.
review.
Ah, okay. Play it. Oh,
There you go. Yep, play it. It's the same guy.
yeah.
This guy's awesome on TikTok.
Yeah, he is.
I love TikTok.
Oh my god.
That's awesome. Alright, I'm gonna hand it back to Emily.
Yeah, I think Ed approves.
We love it, yeah. Because I found this one. I didn't find this one on like a Reptile sub specifically. Like it just came up on like this random somebody posted it on a subreddit of like different like TikToks or whatever. And I was
That's
like,
great.
I didn't know what was happening. Like I was like, where is this going?
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm like, okay, snapping turtle. He's gonna mess with an actual. Oh nope, he just
Nope, just a
dressed.
dude in a costume.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
I think this is the second to last one. Not long at all. I just love it.
Aw,
Okay.
look at the big berm.
Roll over.
Roll over.
Oh.
Oh my god. Aw, what a good snake.
Reminded me of this other video, which I couldn't find. Maybe I'll link it if I can find it. But it's like a Burmese, the door opens, and the snake just flops onto the ground.
I've seen that. I feel bad for the snake because he hits so hard.
But I love the video. Like they just go, "Good job," and then the video ends.
Oh,
like
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, like the snake just opened the door by itself.
Aw, what a smart little snake.
Right. Oh, and speaking of snakes thwopping onto the ground, sometimes when I'm falling asleep at night, I'll like hear the kind of like rustle of her like going up through her plants to get on the ledge, that like the ledges that are in her enclosure, and then I'll hear the kind of like, you know, the little sandpapery noise of her like going across the rough surface, then a couple seconds of silence, and then just boom as she like falls off.
Aw, I mean they do it in the wild too.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
she's
mean, like,
fine.
you know, and she's obviously fine. But the amount of times that I have, like, been just about to fall asleep and heard that just thunk,
Oh, that'll wake you up.
it most certainly will. Okay, final video here. Only 3 seconds.
Oh no, I want to see more. How does this end?
I literally found this in a subreddit called Gifts That End Too Soon.
Yeah, that was Mama there.
Yeah, no, real
Oh.
concerned.
Jeez. Yeah, he's gonna regret that decision to pick it up very quickly here.
I hope that dude's okay. But also the fact that they're on a golf course reminds me of, like, there's some... My dad watches golf obsessively. And there was a tournament at one time, and they were playing in Florida. And you could tell who the native Floridians were, because when they would, like, go by the water hazards and find gators, all the people who weren't from there would, like, you know, like, jump back, be like, oh my god. The people who were from Florida would just go up, slap them on the tail, and they would go back into the water.
Aw.
Which, like, don't do that. You know, do not approach. But I just thought it was so funny that they were like, yeah, this is normal.
Aw. Just every day for them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we were filming American Alligators in Florida, and it was so tough to, like, film bits because they just wanted to take off. So you had to, like, slowly approach them and try to get as close as you can, but then half the shots, they just take off in the middle of a line, and it's like, shoot, I gotta try it all over again.
Yeah, no, that does sound like a pain. But yeah, that is... We've come to the end, friends. We have any concluding
Right.
thoughts that we would like to share with the people?
You know, there's some really good TikToks out there
There's like a
revolving
whole
around
kind of
reptiles.
reptile side to TikTok that I highly recommend exploring if you
Really?
have
I'll have to check that
reptiles
out.
or just like them. Lots of fun stuff to be found. I've made a couple TikToks with her.
Nice.
No.
No, those are. How did you find all those? Did you just Google like reptile memes?
Yeah, I mostly took them from the like r slash snakes, r slash reptiles, all that stuff. They are all they all have that little, all the ones I took from there have that little banner on the bottom that like shows where it was posted.
Oh,
So, yeah,
sure.
mostly just Reddit. Couple things I've like amassed of just like random thing I came across and then like saved to my own like personal like reptile meme folder.
Yeah, I
And
have
then
a
I was
meme
like,
folder
this
on my
is
phone
relevant.
too.
I have a like just immaculately organized archive of memes just that I've like built up being a person on the internet for as long as I have existed.
I mean, if you find a good one, you have to save it. I think that's the rule. You have to
I
save it
mean,
to your
it's the
phone,
law.
and maybe you'll uncover it someday. Maybe you won't.
It's the thought that counts. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. This is insane.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, of
You did a
course.
great job compiling everything. That was awesome.
Thank you. I do my best. But yes, you are welcome back anytime. Anyone who shows up on the podcast is always welcome back.
Awesome.
And
How often you do once a week?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I wasn't 100%, but yeah, okay, no, that's a great frequency too.
We do our best. But yeah, so check us out if you are checking us out for the first time because of Snake Discovery here. Unless you're a small child, don't do that.
Would you say PG-13? Is kind of what I was.
I would say pretty much PG-13, just not abiding by the rule that every PG-13 movie gets only one F-bomb.
Fair, okay.
Like it's nothing that bad. It's just a little more frequent than your average PG-13 movie. Is how I
Yeah,
would
that's not
describe
bad.
it.
Though. Yeah.
Not too bad. Just expressive. But yeah, so, and if you're just hearing about Snake Discovery because you watch/listen to the podcast, go check out Emily's channel. It's awesome, even if you don't like snakes. It's great stuff.
Well, thanks. We're
'Cause
just
there's
a bunch
also
of
stuff
reptile
about
nerds.
Frogs and other reptiles. So maybe if you really hate snakes, you'll still find something you like.
Well, thank you.
Of
Yeah,
course.
it's been fun.
Thank you very much for joining us, and we will be back again next week with a fresh new episode for y'all. Adios!
Goodbye.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks, featuring special guest Emily Roberts. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98, at AndSarahSaid, and at Snake Discovery. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice, like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon. Thanks for listening!